They showed us what we could do with our homes, and now some of them are relaxing in their own homes. But that's not all these former HGTV stars have been up to since they disappeared. HGTV hails Carol Duvall as the Queen of Crafts. And after being on the air for 14 years, she may have proven that to be true. In each episode of The Carol Duvall Show, she would explain how to make various crafts. Often featuring guest stars, her series covered everything from jewelry making to DIY Christmas cards, and her enthusiasm for crafting was hard to contain.
Be still my heart. I'm really excited about this one.
In 2005, HGTV decided not to renew the show in an effort to appeal to a younger audience. After briefly airing for several seasons on HGTV's sister network, DIY, the show officially ended. A few years later, Duvall moved into Cordia, a senior living complex in Michigan. She sadly passed away at the age of 97 in July 2023. Designing for the Sexes was a show created to help couples with opposing decor tastes overcome the obstacles of their differences. At the root of this was host and interior designer Michael Payne, who was considered to be a master of merging styles together. Payne told the Washington Post in 2003, "I believe that styles can be very successfully mixed. The look I like the most is when a room is predominantly one style and then the exception to that style is highlighted." After Payne left the show and was replaced several times, Designing for the Sexes finally came to an end in 2011. But he hasn't called it quits in the interior design department. According to his website, Payne still works privately with clients, designs exclusive material for various companies, and represents Lowe's as a spokesperson. Aside from his professional life, he resides in LA with his wife, where he enjoys bicycling, gardening, photography, and cars. Kitty Bartholomew, Your Home, kicked off at the end of 1994. During its 8-year run, the show featured tips and tricks for designing your home. For example, in one episode, Bartholomew featured a guest star who broke down the steps for creating DIY animal print decor. With neutral colors and a simplistic painting approach, viewers were able to see just how easy it is to step up their decorating game with a few basic brushstrokes. 6 years after the show ended, Bartholomew once again made headlines in 2009 when she listed her Santa Monica home for over $2 million. She decorated and designed the interior herself, which added to the home's charm and appeal. After that, she wrote 2 books, one called Kitty Bartholomew's Decorating Style and the other titled Designer Knitting with Kitty Bartholomew. In 2021, Bartholomew took her interior design skills to the stage, where she helped redesign the set for a production of The Belle of Amherst in her local town. Design on a Dime first premiered in 2003, and viewers were instantly transported to the world of designing on a budget. With a strict limit of $1,000, guests on the show were shown by a team of designers just how simple it is to achieve a great look for less. Though the series rotated designers and hosts, Brice Cooper and Kristan Cunningham were among fan favorites. Cooper would often appear as both a designer and a host on the show, and he did so until 2007. After making his on-screen exit, he landed in the world of race car driving, where he served as a reporter for motorsport events. According to his LinkedIn, Cooper currently works as the creative director for Pan American World Airways. On the other hand, Kristan Cunningham hosted the show's first 10 seasons before leaving in 2011 to pursue other endeavors. In 2013, she and her husband opened up their own decor shop called Hammer and Spear, which was met with instant success. In fact, the store was named Best Downtown Emporium by LA Weekly and continues to be considered one of the best stops for vintage finds in California. Fixer Upper began airing on HGTV in 2013, and it's centered around hosts Chip and Joanna Gaines remodeling houses in Waco, Texas. While much of the focus was on the Gaines, fans still fell in love with other members of the team, including Saul Shorty Sanchez. Sanchez was the Gaines' trusty sidekick, and his easygoing personality and sense of humor made him an instant fan favorite.
When did you start? Did I call you Shorty?
Yeah, you started calling me Shorty.
To many viewers' dismay, after the original series ended in 2018, he did not return for the show's spin-off, Fixer Upper: Welcome Home. However, Sanchez did eventually appear as a guest on a 2021 episode of the spin-off. After the end of Fixer Upper in 2018, Chip replied to a fan on Twitter with an update on Sanchez. Gaines wrote, "Have no fear, my brother Shorty M. Sanchez is living not only his, but the best life." While Sanchez hasn't been the best with updating his social media, he does post on occasion. In January 2023, he shared a picture of himself with his infant son on Twitter. Love It or List It, which premiered in 2008, gives homeowners who are tired of their space the opportunity to renovate their home or put it on the market. In each episode, realtor David Vizentine and designer Hilary Farr bring forth competing expertise in their given areas to help homeowners come up with the best decision. The show brought in general contractor Eric Eremita to assist with renovations in season 6, but he seemingly disappeared from the program in 2019. As Eremita told Forbes, he left the show because he felt like it was time for a change. The renovations were great, the people were great, but I thought it was time for my own thing. Upon leaving, he developed an idea for his own show called Homeboys, a reality renovation show depicting people in the tri-state area who love living in their neighborhoods, but not their homes. The show is still awaiting a channel to pick it up, but Eremita has reportedly been in touch with several networks. House Hunters, which first premiered on HGTV on September 30th, 1999, has aired a jaw-dropping 236 seasons as of the summer of 2023. Still, it's difficult to think of the show without associating it with the original pioneers who made it what it is today. One of these people is Suzanne Whang, the show's narrator and host from 1999 to 2008. Whang radiated a fresh and vibrant energy on the show, so it was only natural that viewers were drawn in. After leaving House Hunters in 2009, she moved on to make appearances in several TV shows like Dexter and Las Vegas. She was diagnosed with breast cancer in the fall of 2006, though her positive attitude never wavered. Sadly, Whang lost her battle with breast cancer in September 2019. Though hosting TLC's Trading Spaces was Genevieve Gorder's first on-air design gig, her bubbly personality and eye-catching designs captured the adoration of fans everywhere. It was only natural that HGTV would snag her up for her own show. She was on Dear Genevieve from 2009 to 2012 and was seen again on Genevieve's Renovation in 2014, in which she renovated her own home. Since then, Gorder married interior designer Kristan Dunbar in 2018 before appearing in the Netflix series Stay Here. And she recently collaborated with Scotty's Tissues to design more exciting boxes for the company. These days, Gorder still designs, but she's trying to take it easier than she has in the past. Discussing her years-long struggles with Lyme and Hashimoto's diseases, the designer told USA Today, "I think it's made me a much better designer because I understand home in yet another way when home truly has to be a cradle. I get when your senses are so weary that everything hurts. It's made me more sensitive." Before real estate expert Egypt Sherrod became the host of Property Virgins in 2011, there was Sandra Rinomato. Rinomato landed on the show in 2006, where she coached first-time homebuyers through a more realistic approach to purchasing their first house. Before her time on Property Virgins, she was a Toronto-based real estate agent in the mid-90s. Although she's very grateful for her time on television, after hosting another HGTV show, by herself, Rinomato began to suffer from burnout around 2016. She felt it was time to take a step back from the pressures of the media world. Rinomato returned to real estate and is now enjoying the career success that being on HGTV brought her. Gardening by the Yard was HGTV's very first gardening show. Host Paul James acquired his green thumb in the late 70s when he and his wife moved into their first home in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Years later, a friend of his, an anchor at a local TV station, asked him if he'd be interested in doing brief gardening segments as part of her show. The program was a huge success, and when James saw an advertisement for the newly launched HGTV, he figured more people across the country might be interested in what he had to offer. He met with HGTV to discuss the show, and the rest was history. Gardening by the Yard went on to run for 13 years.
If you like to be on the leading edge within the world of gardening, then check out this new edging material.
HGTV unexpectedly canceled James' show in 2009 because, reportedly, newer and younger executives at the channel were attempting to change things around. During a 2019 podcast recording of The Joe Gardner Show, James told listeners, "I have no disparaging feelings toward HGTV at all. They were so good to me. They were wonderful. I still know people there that I respect and admire greatly, and I had a good run." Hosted by Shari Hiller and Matt Fox, Room by Room was created in 1994 to teach easy and innovative techniques for achieving makeovers on any room in the house. With budget and expense in mind, Hiller and Fox decorated everything from bathrooms to sunrooms, using their creative and practical expertise. After the show ended in 2006, Hiller and Fox moved to PBS to begin another series in 2010 called Around the House with Matt and Shari. Nearly 20 years after their professional relationship began, Fox explained to the Detroit News how the duo managed to work so well together for so long. Shari is known for decorating, and I'm known for getting stuff done. Hiller added that they both feel the internet hasn't been much help in the home renovation department. She explained, "We used to take decorating challenges and show how to solve them step by step. Today there aren't that many how-to shows, and there is more information on the internet." Fox chimed in saying, "Everything seems so escalated, and a normal person couldn't afford what is shown. We should go back to being real because people want to do projects on their own." Horticulturist Erica Glasener made her HGTV debut in 1994 on A Gardener's Diary. In each episode, viewers followed along with Glasener as she explored a new garden, introduced its owners, and shared the ins and outs of its contents. Nowadays, after 14 years of being on HGTV, Glasener has worked as the marketing manager for several different on-location Georgia gardens, including Gibbs Gardens in Ball Ground, Georgia. As of 2022, she is a horticulturist at Alex Smith Garden Design Limited in Atlanta. She has also written and co-written several books, including Proven Plants, Southern Gardens, Georgia, Getting Started Garden Guide, and Month by Month Gardening in Georgia.
I'm Candice Olson, and this is Divine Design.
When Divine Design first aired in 2003, it didn't take long for viewers to fall in love with host Candice Olson's down-to-earth personality. Olson was all about making upscale design and stylish sophistication accessible for home buyers, so you could often catch her upcycling old furniture or mixing and matching vintage with modern pieces to give a house a much-needed makeover. Aside from her top-notch design skills, Olson's personality was, in part, what drove audiences to tune in. Her sense of humor shined as she made jokes and comedy skits before a commercial break or took part in some classic banter with Chico, her electrician. Olson's success paved the way for her to launch her own line of home decor, called the Candice Olson Collection, before she appeared as a judge on HGTV Design Star from 2009 to 2011. She even made several guest appearances on other HGTV shows until Divine Design wrapped things up in 2011. From there, Olson landed her own show called Candice Tells All, a series where she was able to show off her knowledge of construction and design. Candice Tells All ended in 2013, but Olson's retirement from HGTV didn't seem to slow her down. These days, she continues to focus on designing and renovating while sharing her work via social media. She even revealed in a 2023 Instagram post that she purchased a Florida home that she plans to freshen up with some new decor.